everyone, it's Kelly Rasmussen here, and today I'm going to show you how to make your own wood embellishments. So I'm first starting off with this wood veneer. It's just a very thin piece of wood. It's flexible and it's very easy to stamp on, and it runs through a die cutting machine great. So I'm just going to take a Hero Arts Frame Cuts die here and place it down on my piece of wood, and then I'm going to go run it through my die cut machine. And here you can see how easily the die just pops out, and sometimes there will be some rough edges, so I'll just take a sanding block and lightly sand the edges, and this will give you a nice smooth finish. And next I'm going to do some stamping on the wood piece, and I wanted a text background, so I just grabbed this image from the Hero Arts My Favorite stamp set, and I'm inking it up with some Hero Arts neon pink ink. And I did some testing of different inks on these wood pieces, and I found that the Hero Arts dye inks work really well, and they stamp really crisp and clean, and the ink does not bleed at all into the wood. So that's what I decided to use, and here you can see how nicely that's stamped. So I've gone ahead and die cut a few more hearts and stamped some patterns on them, and I'm going to show you how the rest of the card came together. So I'm using these two stamps here, and first is this big tag image, and I'm using some Color Box White Frost pigment ink and just inking that up and stamping it on some Tide layering paper. Next I'm going to take this Studio Calico clear stamp set with the Love You More sentiment and ink it up with that same white ink and stamp it on my tag. Now I'm going to be embossing this with white embossing powder, so you could have easily stamped this with Versamark ink as well, but I like to use the white pigment ink so I could see exactly where I was placing my sentiment. So I'm just going to sprinkle on some embossing powder and hit it with my heat gun. Then I'll just go ahead and trim out my tag, and then I'm going to take one of the arrow images from that same clear stamp set and stamp it a couple times using the Hero Arts Tide Pool Shadow ink. And I really love the look of this ink on this paper. It's such a nice subtle tone on tone look. So now it's time to add the wooden hearts to the tag, and I'm just using some foam adhesive here to adhere the hearts to the tag. I just wanted the hearts to pop up a little bit more and add some dimension. So I'm just going to add my other heart here, and next I'm going to tie on some twine. I punched a hole in the top of the tag and just going to tie a bow out of this baker's twine. So now for the card base, I'm using this looped flower pattern, and I've used some soft brown shadow ink to stamp it on a craft card base. And then I'm taking a piece of vellum that I have stitched a border around with my sewing machine, and I'm just going to put it on my card base. And I'm going to put adhesive right in the middle where I know it will be covered up by the tag, and then I'm taking these micro glue dots and I'm going to put one in each corner of the vellum, and this will just make sure it stays in place and you won't see the adhesive at all. And finally I can put the tag on the card base using some foam adhesive, and then the card is finished.